Hey guys, so this is my fourth or fifth time trying to make a video. I have to talk a little softly because I don't want my mom to hear me. Because I'm not supposed to have my phone, so it's not like she'll just think I'm talking on the phone. Um, which then again, who really cares? Um, I wanted to do my video today on being bullied slash outed, which I want to talk about separately but also together. Um, times that one time I can remember being bullied. This kid, so last year, so my sophomore year, kept calling me by my birth name and like using wrong pronouns and stuff. And at first it was just like, oh, I keep forgetting. Goes, I knew you freshman year and blah blah blah. Well, the same kid that was this other kid that was in the same class knew me since seventh grade, and he was fine with it. So I was kind of like, well, whatever. But I still like just dismissed it and was like, well, some people it's harder. I tried to be like understanding about it, but this continued all year, and I talked to the teacher about it. She talked to him about it, and it still didn't stop. So we met up with the vice principal, and we all talked, and like he's just used the same excuse that he forgot, and I'm just like, dude, you're fucking pissing me off. Sorry for the language, but like he pissed me off, and like he didn't talk to me after that, which was good, but it was still annoying to me like how that happened, and it just sucks when that happens because you kind of just you're like, really, like this is not like I'm not a girl, like I don't understand. I consider that as bullying though, because like he said like, oh, forgot, but I honestly just think he was trying to like antagonize me. I could tell by the way he would like say shit. I just like knew. I'm just like, so that's one experience I've had of being bullied. Being outed on purpose. Um, the only time I can really remember is something I'd rather not talk about because it's kind of a domino effect, like, or kind of was like a snowball effect actually, because it just kept getting bigger and bigger, like leading to more things. Like it just sucked, and it was like it was a horrible person to be outed to say the least. Um, being outed on purpose though, that sucks because it's usually, obviously, if it's on purpose, it's to someone who's not supposed to know something, who shouldn't know, or, and, it sucks because sometimes it's just better if people don't know. Not only for safety, which is a big thing, if you're worried that somebody would go to extreme lengths, like as so far as to want to hurt you because they find out you're trans, but also just, you know, for the sake of not being treated differently. Like, it sucks when like, you're fine with everything and then, like they're fine and they treat you completely fine and then you tell them and like they just start treating you differently. Like, I get flattered when I tell people and they're like, oh, that's so interesting and you're so brave and stuff. Like, I get flattered, but then sometimes I'm kind of like, well, okay, that's different than being outed when you actually come out to someone. Um, but being outed on purpose is never fun. And for being outed, I really wish I could give um, advice if it's a case where someone you don't want to know, not just because you don't want to be treated differently, but because you're like afraid you'll be hurt, or merely either way, you can do this. The only thing I can think of, which lying isn't good, but I had a friend who told me that he tells people that like if his birth name accidentally gets called out in school, um, he tells people it's his sister. That's one way. Another thing, I mean, depends on the situation. Like in that situation, obviously you'd be like, oh, that's my sister. Like in other situations, it's harder to cover up. You could say it's a rumor about you. I've told people that I'm just a late bloomer, and that's why my voice is so like high, kind of, and like I have a baby face, I guess you could say. I've told people that, and it's been fine. I mean, lying is not really good, but like, sometimes it's just better when people don't know. And like, I feel like we don't really owe it to people for them to know. Like, people don't have to know unless you're dating me. Like, you don't have to know. It's personal information, and I just feel like it's not really necessary for people to know that. You know, sometimes just better this way. Um, I'm sorry, it's really hard to make a video when everything is my mom doesn't hear me. I don't know if you can hear me well enough. And now the TV's being louder than I am. But yeah, that's all I can really say is that just remember, like, if you feel guilty about like not wanting to be outed, not even like outed is honestly a bad way. Like, it's sometimes it's not all that bad, but you know, just worry about like protecting yourself and like what you want, and like don't let anyone tell you like that people should know that because you shouldn't like hide stuff like that. Like, really, if you're not dating me, then why do you need to know? Or like not even dating, like if you're not gonna have sex with me, then why do you need to know? If you're not gonna like, if you're not my doctor, and you're not gonna like have to, you know, anything like that, just why? Like, why? No one has to know. That's the thing. And I used to feel about that. I used to feel like, oh, that's so wrong to not talk to me. That's really not. Like, you don't have to tell anyone. As for the being bullied thing, um, you know, talk to someone about it. Sometimes that makes it worse. But if you can't talk to someone who will talk to the person, just talk to someone, you know, about how it makes you feel. Maybe just like a counselor or just, you know, anyone, so you're not completely alone. But yeah, so I'm gonna make this video up because I can't really talk much longer anyway, and it's going on 8 minutes. I just wanted to get this up tonight. I think I covered everything, and I will be trying to make more videos, especially within the week. Getting more topics, which I'm doing better at. So that's it. Bye.